Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Ship salvaging. Who wouldn't want to tear apart damaged or abandoned ships in order to collect resources for profit? Now, whilst it's true to say that salvaging exists in the game right now, it's equally true to say that it is extremely basic and honestly, well, it's also extremely uncompelling. Mining used to be extremely basic and extremely dull as well. However, it did still contain a reasonable game loop. Salvaging right now is certainly in a far worse state than mining ever was. However, the interesting thing here is that the Beyond chapters have added enough game mechanics into Elite that they could very easily be used to dramatically improve salvaging and turn it into a fully functional and fun game loop. Before we go any further though, what is ship salvaging and have Frontier ever discussed the concept? Well, to start with, we can head all the way back to 2013 and Frontier's early development videos. Right back then, there was a video that highlighted a damaged Anaconda, and you can see it on screen right now. This displayed the full interior of the ship as well in the cargo hold, and it was mentioned that the cargo would be fully represented in the game, and that the containers might spew out into space. Of course, this was discussed in terms of damaged ships and combat, as well as how it might relate to their cargo. Salvaging specifically, however, has also been discussed numerous times in the past. This idea has some pretty compelling game loops and could be refined into some very significant game mechanics. Let's compare that to what we have right now. So as I said at the beginning of the video, salvaging does exist, but currently it involves a little more than finding cargo canisters, scooping them up and taking them to a station to sell them for a small amount of money. These cargo containers can be found in a variety of locations. The locations that perhaps come closest to the original concept are the debris fields. There are also crashed ships on planetary surfaces where we can find various goods. Technically, this isn't a salvaging mechanic, although I guess it could be argued that it is in fact salvaging, but more on these locations a little later. So where could salvaging go from here? What could be done with it as a game mechanic? Well, let's take a look at what was introduced into Elite Dangerous during Beyond in 2018. Firstly then, we have interactable megaships. These vessels are simply immense. We also now have burning and damaged megaships, so in addition to player-sized ships, there are also these immense multi-kilometer long vessels which also have various damage states. Secondly, Chapter 4 introduced new searching mechanics that allow us to discover signal sources and scenarios. In short, we have ships that can be salvaged, as well as a means to create a gameplay loop for locating those ships. Further, Beyond introduced a method for scanning megaships and further expanded upon the concept with the pulse wave scanner that allows players to locate resource-rich asteroids. A combination or variant of these two tools seems like the perfect solution for scanning abandoned ships in order to locate resources that could be mined. Keep in mind that salvaging needn't be limited to large ships like megaships. It could also be used for smaller vessels or even broken off ship components. For example, imagine searching a massive debris field similar to like this one here but much larger and using a tool like the pulse wave scanner to detect potentially useful salvage. Finally, the mining update brought with it a variety of different tools. The abrasion blaster for dislodging surface resources, the subsurface tool for getting to resources slightly out of reach, and the seismic charge for cracking asteroids. Just imagine using such a tool to crack open an abandoned Anaconda or even a megaship section. Now, it's not hard to see how these tools could be modified to work with salvaging. In fact, it seems like a natural extension. Further, if we really want to push this concept, there are a whole load of ship crash sites on the planetary surfaces. Now, if these were to increase in number and become or remain discoverable using the probe launcher, then we have surface locations that could be salvaged using the SRV, or dare I say it, a new and improved salvaging SRV that we could go out there and find chunks of ships or resources, valuable parts that we could take back to our ship and use for whatever other purposes, maybe making money or maybe something else. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that anything of this nature would be easy to implement. I'm also not saying that it could be done quickly. What I am saying though is that Frontier have proven that they can take an underdeveloped and undercooked gameplay such as mining or exploration of old and turn it into something new and compelling that engages the player base as a whole. What would be pretty awesome then would be for Frontier to continue this trend in future and look at other areas of the game that could do with some rework. Personally, I'd love Frontier to take another look at salvaging and give it some of the fantastic treatment they proved they are capable of with Chapter 4. If you feel Salvaging could do with a rework, or if you feel there are other areas of the game that you'd like to see overhauled, then let me know in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.